What if you could buy a great multifamily investment property that stands on its own as a great investment, but without spending a single penny more, you get a huge tax benefit for this year's taxes, and in the process, you feed over 1,500 desperately poor children 2 meals every single day? Today's deal of the week is the ultimate example of doing very well for yourself while doing great good for others. I'm Bryan Ellis. This is episode 157.
You're listening to Self-Directed Investor Radio, America's only podcast exclusively for affluent, self-directed investors, where each day of the week you receive innovative investment strategy and deadly accurate market analysis that's untainted by Wall Street and unblemished by government propaganda, all in 7 minutes or less. Coming to you now from iTunes, Stitcher, and SDIRadio.com, here's your host, Bryan Ellis.
Hello, SDI Nation. Welcome to the podcast of record for savvy, self-directed investors like you. I'm really jazzed about today's show, people. You're going to hear an awesome investment opportunity that, even if there wasn't an extraordinary social and spiritual benefit attached to it, it would be a great deal all by itself. But with this add-on benefit, wow, this one is impossible to ignore. So here's the thing. My wife Carol and I have a burning desire to bring practical help to people who are desperately poor and without hope. We don't talk publicly about this private passion of ours very much, but we and our companies give rather aggressively to that effect. I won't share the numbers with you, but suffice it to say, we absolutely put our money where our mouth is on this issue. But I'm not really a fan of making nebulous statements like, for every new client, we'll donate to charity XYZ. I'm not critical of that. I just don't think it's for me. I like specificity. So how about this? I'm going to tell you about a great deal today, a deal that stands on its own, a great deal that without any assistance from any cool incentives that I'll tell you about is an awesome opportunity all by itself. It's a great high cash flowing multifamily investment deal that absolutely, like I said, stands on its own in terms of quality, but you'll also be able to get a tax deduction of about $65,000 for this year. And that money will be used to feed over 1,500 children 2 meals a day. Children who, by the way, live in the desperately poor slums of Nairobi, Kenya. It's the single biggest slum in the entire world. Now, if you're listening to this show over at SDIRadio.com, be sure to check out the picture of the Nairobi slums that's on the page. It's heartbreaking, and that's where you'll make a huge difference, literally a life-saving difference. So here's the deal. I've got a great multifamily unit in Birmingham, Alabama. It's a 5-unit. Each unit has 2 beds and 1 bath, and it's just been completely renovated. It's practically a brand new property. All 5 units are already rented. The Veterans Administration has rented the entire building for veterans who need housing. Each unit will collect $600 per month, so that's a total of $3,000 a month. And here's the thing, with the VA, you get your payments, period. On time, every month. No squabbling with tenants. You get your money, period. No question about it. Now, folks, I'm not going to go into great detail on this deal right here, but I'll put it like this. After factoring out property taxes, insurance, property management, and very generous allowances for vacancy and maintenance, my calculations suggest you'll end up with net annual cash flow of about $25,000. So after factoring in the purchase price of $250,000, well, you'll be yielding a solid 10% on your money every year, and that assumes that you pay cash. If you use leverage, your cash-on-cash return will likely be much closer to 15% annually, which, by the way, crushes the long-term average of the S&P 500 no matter what way you look at it. So bottom line, this is a very, very good deal, all on its own, no doubt about it, a very good deal. The numbers are solid, the valuation is appraiser supported, the income is already contractually committed, the property management is experienced and in place. This is a turnkey investor's dream scenario. But here's how we're making a deal that's already wise and profitable even better. We're able to add a rare adjective to describe this investment: life-saving. I'm going to be brutally honest with you about this. This property is worth $250,000, as I've mentioned. And I've got a good opportunity on this one. I can buy it totally finished for $185,000. That's the difference of $65,000. Now, what I want to do is see that money, the part of the deal that would normally be my profit, I want to see that go to our team in Nairobi, Kenya for our feeding programs. So I'm prepared to adjust this deal however it needs to be adjusted to see that happen. We'll certainly have to get some tax advice together to make sure that we do everything properly, but here's the bottom line. You can either reduce what you pay for this property from $250,000 to $185,000 and simultaneously make a charitable donation of the balance, or you can pay the full $250,000 and I'll donate the profit. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. And the right answer is probably relative to your tax situation. But my goal is one thing: to make a huge, immediate impact for some children who, without this help, may literally not see the end of this year. Now, depending on how you want to structure the deal, you could get a tax deduction for this year of a whopping $65,000. Plus, since you'll effectively only be paying $185,000 for this deal, your cash-on-cash annual net will explode upwards to well over 13% if you're buying with cash, or with leverage, you'll be around 29% net per year. Now, like I said, this deal stands on its own merit without the huge extra benefit I've just mentioned. No doubt about it, it's a solid deal. But with this tax benefit and with this social benefit, well, this one is a slam dunk. And if you're wondering, no, there's no sneaky structuring involved whereby I will actually profit from this deal. Well, I will, because I'm getting what I want. I want my team in Kenya to be able to feed a lot of hungry children. So making money myself is not my goal. I've been blessed already, and I believe the entire reason that I am blessed is so that I can bless others. And by using this deal as a medium through which that happens, you can have an astoundingly positive benefit too. So what I'm going to do is host a webinar later this week, and I'll tell you all about this deal. It'll be an online pro forma of sorts. I'll tell you all about the deal, why it makes sense, why it's so solid, why it makes sense, period, all by itself, stands on its own. And I'll also tell you about my team in Nairobi, with whom I've been working closely for several years, and exactly how they're having such a huge impact on those who are truly desperately poor. Now, this deal has everything, my friends. Great value, high cash flow, massive immediate tax benefits, great enduring tax benefits through depreciation, and maybe even most importantly, you'll literally be saving lives. I dare you. Go find an investment with returns better than that. I dare you. So you can learn more about this and get in on the webinar this week by going to sdiradio.com/Kenya, Kenya. Again, that's sdiradio.com/Kenya. My friends, if you're a real estate investor who has ever dreamed of making a real difference in the lives of others, of somehow bringing a tangible, substantive, truly life-giving benefit to others as a direct result of your investing, well, this is your chance. Remember, this deal, without the extra incentives, is a great deal, no doubt about it. But with the incentives, it's of incomparable, enduring value. So come on over to sdiradio.com/Kenya right now for more information. And my friends, invest wisely today and help yourself, your family, and thousands of children in Nairobi, Kenya to live well forever.
Thank you for listening to Self-Directed Investor Radio with Bryan Ellis. Don't miss a single episode. Be sure to subscribe to Self-Directed Investor Radio right now on iTunes, on Stitcher, and at SDIRadio.com. Your feedback is always welcomed via email at feedback@SDIRadio.com. This show is for entertainment purposes only and is not intended as legal or professional advice for your situation. Content is the property of the Self-Directed Investor Society.